Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show Braves Country today just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby, Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A game is Lineup for Braves Country by D 2024. A is for Aaron, the hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby, Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks, changing speeds east and west, a gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright, the father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play, Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones, Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider, the quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez, Javi to B-Mac, Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog, he won 355, could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking, the top pitcher's lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy, the big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler, Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren, Skip Carey 2, Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren, Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses, and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all, when you just A to Z, think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying, it felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee, to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
You're in Braves country.
Little technical issues there. Not quite sure what's going on there. Hopefully everything will get straightened out. Hope y'all are having a good night here in Braves country. And we are, I believe the sound's working well. So if not, please let me know in the chat. Yeah, this thing is dragging. That's for sure. Atlanta Braves. Get air. Anyways, Atlanta Braves versus the Chicago Cubs. We'll get it straightened out here in one. We're going live here at 7:20 first pitch. And other in the area, and I believe that's into the game at hand. We're going to put this on the screen full so you can see it much better. And you can see that Austin Riley in the lineup. There's not been an indication on when he will be in the lineup. And what my guess would be is it would be sometime this weekend. I don't expect him to tomorrow. We're off on Thursday. And that would be my guess. So yeah, this thing is really dragging. We'll get it all back up here in a second. Braves versus the Cubs, and we're coming at you here in not too long from now. Now, a couple of things that you want to hit up on the pregame show. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I think we're getting it figured out. One of my guys in the studio is fixing it right now as we speak. So you got Chris Sale on the mound. You've got Jameson Taillon on the mound the other way. If you haven't seen Jameson Taillon, now he's got a late start to the season, I should say. And he is a pretty nasty customer and throws a bunch of different pitches. I was looking up his stuff today. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. He's got 6 pitches that Taillon will go to. And you don't typically see that. And I'm talking about 6 that he will routinely go to. He's got a 4-seam, a cut, a curve, a sweep, a sink, and every once in a while, he'll throw a change just to keep you honest. Yes, Edward. That is correct. He's talking about Riley. He is day to day. What I was trying to say, and I don't think my audio was very good at the time. Austin Riley, I don't think plays in this series. What they're hoping for is, because if you think about the fact that it's a side issue and they're trying to avoid the IL, logistically, it would make a ton of sense for him. If he's not playing tonight, well, you might as well not play him tomorrow and give him 2 more days of rest and see how he feels on Friday. If he's still banged up on Friday, honest engine, at some point, I think what you're going to have to do is put him on the IL and hope that at some point here we end up with someone else to come up to help spell Zach Short, because Zach Short's not going to get it done offensively. And you got a couple options down low. I mean, probably the obvious answer would be a couple of options down at AAA Gwinnett, but I really don't want to get too in the weeds with that until we know that he's definitely not playing tomorrow. If he's not playing tomorrow, I'll give you some options. But you don't want to continue to go without an adequate bat at third base. Zach Short, though, has been impressive as far as what I like about Zach so far. His defense has been outstanding. Very slick infielder. He by trade is a shortstop. So the transition over to third is pretty seamless because you're talking about the same side of the infield. He can also play second base, by the way. He's a good base runner, and I like the fact that he competes with his at-bats. He doesn't just give them away. He doesn't just slap the bat out there and hope for the best. He doesn't try to ambush and it's a one pitch out. So I love that about him. He's already drawn 3 walks, and he realistically hasn't come into the lineup until middle of the game on Sunday night. So he's already drawn 3 walks, and you got to love that. And of course, he got the game-winning RBI last night. And we know that wasn't what you would consider a textbook swing. It was a late swing, but hey, he got it down the line and got the run in. And if he can just get on base anyway, whether it's a broken bat single, and I'm not sure about his bunt game. I haven't seen him do any bunting yet, but any way to get on, as well as working the count, all that's going to do is wreak havoc because you got Acuna back behind him. So we're going to be up against it going into tonight because we are down Riley, and you're going up against Tyon, another elite starter. I mean, we have had a buzzsaw of starters that we have faced. And a lot of Braves fans are all over, whether it's X or Facebook or wherever you are hanging out, and you see the same comments over and over again where they are essentially freaking out and telling everybody, well, this offense is junk. It's a terrible offense. Oh my God, the world is ending. Da, 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 da. We have been up against pitcher after pitcher after pitcher, elite starting pitcher. And it doesn't stop tonight. Tonight, once again, Jamison Tyon. And I'm going to try to share that screen again here in a second, but I was getting the connection to reset as we had the storm coming through the area. But the point being, Jamison Tyon is going to be a nasty customer. I mean, he's got an ERA of what, 1.13, another whip below 1.88 whip. And he is a guy that he's a veteran. He's going to work his pitches. The Braves got to be patient. I thought the Braves did an outstanding job last night. I really did. The way that they worked the count, I know we only ended up with a couple of runs, but they did a great job to be able to work the count and eventually get Imanaga out of the game. And I saw some comments today on social media, and we got the win and everyone's still trashing the offense. But your typical Joe doesn't understand that is one of the best left-handers in baseball, even if you've never heard of him. He come over from the Japanese league, and he has just been lights out. So the Braves did a great job to get out there, and honestly, he didn't have his best stuff. he was off a little bit, but you got an idea of what Imanaga was about. He's a guy that's around the plate. He's a guy that's got great command, and he keeps it up and down, keeps you off balance. And I think that's what you're going to get tonight. I honestly think you're going to get it from the other side, but you're going to get it tonight. You're going to get a right-hander, a veteran who is going to mix in, like I said before, 6 pitches. He's got 6 pitches that he can go to. So you're going to have a kind of a hodgepodge of when we go through the lineup the first time, everybody getting an idea, because you can look at all the video you want. It's different when you stand in the box and you see the delivery from the pitcher. Second time through the lineup, you kind of expect to get a little better swings, and you hope that you can get them out by the third time through the lineup. And the Braves should have the services of Iglesias tonight. The reason why they didn't have him in last night is because he had pitched 2 games in a row, 3 of the last 4 games. And I think they were looking at the way I was looking at it was if you decided to use him last night, they probably couldn't use him tonight or tomorrow night. So they found a way to get the win. I don't like the idea of Eyeglasses closing either. I mean, AJ Mitchell closing either. I much rather would give it a go with Jimenez. But it worked out. We got a little fortunate with that double play, but it worked out. All right, let's step aside. We got the lineups and pitch by pitch coming to you here in just 1 second here on Braves Country Baseball as the Braves Cubs game 2 of a 2-game set. Let's get it.
Let's party together.
It's symmetrical and quirky, but even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball. Stabbed by Polk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship.
It's entertainment, something you watch, and it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But your baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
Cubs win! What a lucky break! The good Lord wants the Cubs to win!
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. A hanger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's where men play the little boy's game.
believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
Swung line drive left field. One run is in. Here comes Breen. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country. If it's a bigger thing, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright side o'er the ramparts we once were. So gallantly streaming, spangled banner yet wave. O'er the land.
On a beer?
And join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Of your Starting line 53. Ozzy Albies batting second, playing second. 3 home runs. 19 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting 274. Your designated hitter and batting third, it's Marcel runs, 18 RBI, a 209 average. Travis d'Arnaud batting fifth. Playing short. 4 home runs, 15 RBI, batting for Atlanta Braves. He has 2 home runs. Is that on the mound tonight for your 9-8.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
All right. Hopefully that fixes it. I had to shut down the mothership and restart it. I was not dealing with that dragon BS all night. Hope y'all are having a good night. We'll do roll call here in 1 second. Want to make sure that we've got everything. See if we've got everything rolling. Okay. Man, I swear. You got to love storms in the area. All right. We had some really bad wind, and it was screwing up the internet, and we're Ethernet in. That's why it surprised me. But anyways, we are just about set pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play for your Atlanta Braves. A little bit of weather's not going to knock us out the box, as the Atlanta Braves are going to be wearing their home whites with the blue ball caps, red bill, white A, Chris Sale night. I've got my lucky Chris Sale shirt on. Hope y'all got whatever you got. Do whatever you got to do tonight left-handed. Chris Sale is going to bring us a W, baby. I didn't get a chance to get into it in the pregame because all the nonsense that was going on. But my pick to click tonight with Tyon on the mound, I'm going to get – man, come on, Matt Olson. It is time for you to wake up. So give me Matt Olson to click. And my score, I do believe it's going to be a low-scoring one. Give me the Braves to get 5 and keep the Cubs to 2. 5-2, your final. And Matt Olson is going to get and for folks who are not familiar, when we say click to qualify, they can't just get a base hit. They have to equate for at least 2 bases to click, and or a base and an RBI. So there you have that. The Cubs are in their road grays top to bottom, not the blue shirts tonight, road grays and their blue caps with the classic red C on the front. And yes, sir, it is about baseball time in Braves country. And the first pitch on the way from Chris Sale is right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty, righty, the pitch, swung on, fouled straight back, 0-2. If folks in the chat can give me a heads up and make sure that I'm coming in clear and we're not dragging and all that stuff, I think I fixed it, but I never know for sure because I can't hear me. And if I start to be able to hear me, well, they'll probably lock me up, right? The 0-2 pitch from Sale, kicks and fires high and out of the zone, just above the letters 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Lefty, righty. The pitch. Swung on, chopped foul down the first base line. Wisdom was trying to just kind of slap it foul. I mean, slap it to the right side as the Braves are playing him to pull. Kind of a smart at bat right there, just didn't work out for him. He saw the off speed and he was just trying to basically to poke it down the line. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. The over-under on Chris Sale's strikeouts tonight, by the way, is 6.5. We took him to get to that 7. I was kind of shocked that it was as low as 6.5, but that's where they had it out in Vegas today. That'll bring Seiya Suzuki to the plate, lefty, righty. First pitch on the way. Up top for a high strike, it's 0-1. Suzuki didn't like that call. Valentine is behind the plate tonight. Suzuki batting .288, 3 home runs, 14 RBI. The 0-1 swung on and fouled back out of play. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Suzuki, an 815 OPS on the year. The 0-2 misses high and out of the zone. 1-2. The pitch. Slider misses way outside wide. We'll do it. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chris Sale's already got 2 strikeouts. Let's go, Braves country. He's got that slider working. That is a beautiful thing when you get Chris Sale's slider rolling like that. So 2 up, 2 down, and the batter will be Cody Bellinger. The first pitch on the way to Bellinger is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Bellinger batting .255 on the year, .827 OPS. The 1-0, excuse me. They set up outside wide. Darnode sets the mitt way outside and swing and fouls it back out of play. It's 1-1. The infield today for the Atlanta Braves, left to right around the horn, you've got Short to Arcia to Ozzie to Olsen. In the outfield, it's Kelnick, Harris, and Acuna. The 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball is sliced into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Softly hit ball into the outfield, but it did its job, and it's 1 on, 2 away. That'll bring Christopher Morel to the plate. Morel batting .223, a .747 OPS. The first pitch on the way is a swing and a miss. Fastball top of the zone, 95 miles an hour. It's 0-1. A lot of these Cubs batters, they either haven't seen Sale or they've had a very small sample size with them being in the American League. The 0-1. Sale comes set, rocks and fire. Swing and a miss, 94 inside, right in his kitchen. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. The pitch on the way. Lets her go in the dirt, and I think that got Morel in the foot, and he's going to get lucked out. The runner was on the go. He's standing at second, and Morel's going to luck out with a hit-by pitch because he was being schooled in that at bat, and instead he's going to get a free base. Looked like the slider, and it just, man, I don't know. Did that hit it? It didn't get his back foot like I thought it did. Ooh, if it hit him, that's a close one. Morel's looking at his foot and everything. He's rolling around talking to the trainer. But if he's hurt, it's got to do with him getting out of the way. It's got nothing to do with the contact of the ball. That ball at best, barely touched. I don't think it hit him. I think he hurt himself. Remember last night, Morel was limping around late in the game. And I think he's banged up. I don't know why they have him out there tonight, but anyways, he had to move backwards. For those of y'all listening on radio, he had to move backwards in kind of an awkward move out of the way. And so if he hurt himself, it wasn't the hit by pitch. It was the awkward moving out of the way and the landing. And they're going to leave him in. And it really is dumbfounding that the Cubs are going to leave him in because he has been in pain the last 2 nights. So that'll bring Talkman to the plate. Michael Talkman takes the first pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty pitch. Slider right there for a strike. It's 1-1. You got a 1-1 count. Sale looks back the runner. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Over the top, it's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Sale now at 20 pitches on the evening. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Chris Sale strikes out the side, gives up a hit, and a hit by pitch. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
it's a song that justifies drinking any time of the day. But, you just say it's 5 o'clock and it's okay, right? But it only works for drinking. You can't show up late for work and be like, hey, 9 o'clock somewhere.
Imagine thinking I'm a hoe and you still can't get with me.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Wade Boggs was one of the greatest contact hitters to ever play the game. He was also known as a guy who had some weird superstitions. He would field precisely 150 ground balls before games, he would start his batting practice at 5:17 p.m., and he would run sprints at 7:17 p.m. Additionally, he would write the Hebrew word "Chai," which means life, in the batter's box before every at-bat, even though Boggs isn't Jewish.
I just stopped in for a little drink to settle my nerves before I go to work. What sort of work do you do? I'm an airline pilot. I was on a flight from New York to L.A. a couple weeks ago, and the plane lost an engine. Oh, don't worry, it'll turn up. There's a lot of pressure being applied. It's quite a sobering thought to realize that there are hundreds of people on my plane, all depending on me.
If you don't like me, just say that. Okay, I don't like you. Why would you say that? It's so mean.
These are the saddest of possible words. Tinker to Evers to Chance. Trio of bear cubs and fleeter than birds, tinker to Evers to Chance. Thoughtlessly pricking our gonfalon bubble, making a giant hit into a double. Words that are weighty with nothing but trouble. Tinker to Evers to Chance.
Well, I'm of the school that believes that we know the names Tinker, Evers, and Chance more because they fit the metric requirements of Franklin P. Adams' poem. Evers was a great ball player. Tinker was a damn good shortstop. And Chance could hit well. But if you look at their record, they didn't make any more double plays than anybody else in the league at the time. They just sounded awfully good.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Ronald Acuna Jr. leads us off. Acuna digs in against Tyon, the right-hander, fires an 87-mile-an-hour cutter right there at the knees. It's 0-1. We tried to get into the pregame show, but all the technical difficulties. Tyon, you're going to see a mixed bag of tricks with him. 6 different pitches in his arsenal. The 0-1, swung on, popped up high, fairly deep, but a lazy fly ball into right field will drop into the glove of Suzuki. 1 away. Tyon will throw you a 4-seamer, comes in around 93, a cutter at 86, a curve at 80, a sweeper at about 80, just a different angle, a sinker at 93, and every once in a while a changeup at 85. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies is a swing and a miss strike. 0-1. Ozzie with the open stance from the left side. Tyon comes set, fires pitch right outside the zone. 1-1. The 1-1 from Jameson. Swing and pops it back, foul and out of play. It's 1-2. That's that curveball he tries to get lefties to swing at. He tries to put that lazy curveball on the outer edge and get you to pop it up. Ozzie took the bait, but thankfully went back behind the plate. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, chopped it foul, back behind the plate. We'll do it again, 1-2. Jameson Tyon, his last outing against Milwaukee, a good one, 6 innings, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and that ball's hammered down the right field line, just foul of the first base bag. Do it again, 1-2. His season began on April 19th. Pitched against the Marlins. Good outing there. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball is going to get dumped into left field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. And it's a 1-out single for the Wiz. Your Atlanta Braves.
I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz, and nobody beats me.
Ozzie just kind of laid the bat head out there and lifted it over the third baseman's head right in front of left field. We got 1 on, 1 out, and here comes Marcell Ozuna. Righty the pitch. Swing and a miss. Kind of a half swing cutter got fooled on the pitch. It's 0-1. Marcell Ozuna batting .329 and a .1048 OPS, 12 home runs and 40 RBI. The 0-1 inside, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Those of y'all listening on radio or listening over on the Facebook app, come on over and join us into Braves Country Radio on YouTube, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. The 1-1 down and away, ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1 count, Matt Olson stands on deck. So Taillon started his season at home against the Marlins, 5 innings, 1 earned run. Then faced the Astros as the 2-1 pitch swung on. That ball is going to get dropped into center field. Ozzy's going first to third. Here comes the throw, and he is safe. A head-first dive. Bellinger came up firing. The throw was well off the mark. I said Bellinger. That was Crow Armstrong. Bellinger's playing first tonight. I'm so used to him playing center. Pete Crow Armstrong is the center fielder tonight. He came up firing the left-hander, but throw was well off the mark. So that puts runners on the corners, 1 out, and here comes the ice house. Matt Olson takes the first pitch down and in. It's 1-0. Nice piece of hitting by Ozuna, too. Both of them just kind of got the bat head out there and lifted it into the outfield. Didn't try to do too much with it. We got it down where the green grass grows. The 1-0 pitch. Swing, and that ball's hit into right field. And it is going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Ozzy. He will score. It's 1-0 your Atlanta Braves. An RBI double for the Ice House. And just like that, the pit to click, baby. Ozuna stands at third. They held him up with just 1 out. No sense of getting him thrown out at the plate. Right fielder Suzuki tried to make a backhanding dive, and he really didn't have much of a chance of making that play, but I think it's one of those things, once you commit, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. First pitch on the way from Travis d'Arnaud is up above the letters for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. John, I call Matt Olson the Ice House because the 1-0 pitch, down below the knees, 2-0. So if you've ever heard of Molson Ice Beer, and his name is Matt Olson, so if you put the M in the O together, it's Molson in my head. And then you got the Chop House out there in right field. I don't know. It kind of clicked with me. The 2-0 pitch, swung on, comebacker right there at the mound. Good catch by Taillon. It's a hard hit ball, but an atom ball 2 away. So that's my reasoning. I come up with some of these nicknames. They may not all be home runs, but I've been calling him Ice House ever since he came over in the trade. Because when he came over in the trade, the first thing came in my head, I was like, isn't Molson, isn't that the Ice House beer? And I looked it up. I was like, yeah, it is. So anyways, first pitch on the way to Michael Harris is a fastball right down the pipe, taken all the way. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Pitch swung on, chopped over to first. It's going to be an easy out. Another easy out for Harris, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Ice House and the Atlanta Braves get on the board. It's 1-0. Chris Sale will go back to work and try to strike out the side again.
Here's $5.
Oh, I'm not homeless. I'm a teacher.
It's $10.
In baseball, with so many stats, often players are overlooked or fall off the radar. Here's the career of Paul Molitor. First off, he could play multiple different positions. Over the course of his career, he played every position but pitcher and catcher. In 29 career postseason games, he batted .368, which included a .418 average in the World Series. Let's also not forget his 5 hits in Game 1 of the 1982 World Series, which still remains a record. Do it with his bat, he also did it with his legs. He reached double digits in stolen bases in every year of his career but his last. He always put the ball in play. Not once in his career did he strike out 100 times. His .326 batting average on balls in play was 40 points higher than the average player during his playing career, which made him even more of a threat. His 75.7 WAR is the highest among designated hitters. Even though he played 1,174 games as a designated hitter, he still had a huge impact on the game even when he wasn't playing the field. Most people forget he has the 5th best hitting streak of all time. His 39-game hitting streak in 1987 remains the longest since Pete Rose's 44-game hitting streak in 1978. His 3,319 hits rank him 11th all time. He is one of 5 players in MLB history with at least 3,000 hits, a .300 career batting average, and 500 stolen bases. So it's hats off to you, Paul Molitor, for one of the greatest careers that we just don't talk about enough.
I want you. I want to get to know you. I like you. No, you don't! You just want to touch my private parts! This is not a petting zoo!
Ball players have to be able to cope with defeat more constantly than anyone else. It isn't just that they lose 4 times out of 6, it's they have to play again tomorrow. And if they lose tomorrow, that's 2 in a row. In a week, you can lose 7 in a row. A losing streak can mount up on you so much faster than a winning streak that it's a kind of terror that grips a team. It's like the spooky music that runs under baseball.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Nick Madrigal, who's at second base tonight. Takes a swing and fouls it back out of play. It's 0-1. So no fun with the Mastroboni tonight. He's out of the lineup. Oh, no, he's not. He's playing short. Excuse me. The 0-1. Lefty righty. Pitch on the way. High and out of the zone. 1-1. So the Riley, the rake, it came from as the 1-1 from Sale. Kicks and fires, swings and pops it up. High in the sky, lazy fly ball into right field. Cunha make the catch, 1 away. When he first came up, a lot of people were using that term, Riley rakes. In fact, one guy took it on, he's a pretty popular Twitter handle. He changed his Twitter handle to Riley rakes. And it just, with the alliteration, it just kind of stuck in my head. So I didn't realistically come up with that one. I kind of jumped on it when it was all being used on Twitter. I don't know if they still use it or not, but at the time when he first came up, first pitch on the way to Amaya is right down there for a strike inside. It's 0-1. If you remember when he first came up, he was like white hot. Is the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. You couldn't get him out for about the first month, and then towards the end of his rookie season, he couldn't get a base hit. But the guy kept that moniker as his Twitter handle. Is the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2. And so I've always just, every time I've seen him, even in his struggles at the end of his rookie season into the beginning, because if you remember back then, there was a big argument whether or not Riley was the third baseman of the future or not. The 1-2 pitch, fisted foul back out of play, do it again. I was always in the Riley camp. I liked him a lot, saw him in some interviews, and I can remember the absurdity of people thinking Camargo was going to be the third baseman. But I think it was fans just liking Camargo because he had some big hits, and it was also because Riley had struggled so much. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, chopped foul down the line, we'll do it again. If you remember, there was a time not too long ago, a few years ago, they were talking about a possible trade of the Braves sending Riley to Cleveland for Jose Ramirez. And though Jose Ramirez is a great player, I mean, it's laughed at now, the 1-2 swing, and that ball's hit hard down the left field line. Well, foul. He smacked that pretty good, Amaya did. And if it stays straight, it goes out, but it hit the screen heading down the line. And it's funny just to think about the fact that people wanted Riley traded for Ramirez. They wanted Camargo as the heir apparent third baseman. And now here we are a few years later, and he got a, was a 10-year deal, over $200 million. Riley did. So the 1-2 count, kicks and fires, swing, and fouls it straight back. We'll do it again. And Riley defensively has turned into one hell of a third baseman. When he first came up, there were some concerns, but he continued to work at his craft, and now he makes some incredible plays over there. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike three. The fourth strikeout for Chris Sale of the night. 2 away. So 2 down. 4 of the first 5 have been via strikeout. That'll bring Mastroboni to the plate. I figured they were going to give him the night off because being the left-hander, but here we go. The first pitch on the way to Mastroboni is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. They were extremely late getting their lineup out there tonight. The 0-1. Lefty, kicks and fires. Fastball misses high, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, drops it in there for a strike. 1-2. Braves 1, Cubs nothing. Top of the second inning. Braves scored on an RBI double, by Matt Olson, sending in Ozzie. The 1-2, swung on, grounded over to second. Ozzie's got it, flips over to first, and it's a 4-3 putout to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, just what the doctor ordered. When we come back, the bottom of the order coming up for the Atlanta Braves.
Okay, not to exaggerate, but I feel like I'm already tired tomorrow.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. For those who don't know, normal human eyesight is 20/20 vision. A research study found that the average baseball player has 20/13 vision, with the top 2% of MLB players having 29.2 vision. That means that some baseball players have vision that's more than twice as good as the normal human.
Okay, few rules. 1, no smoking.
Cigarettes or drugs?
Both.
Oh, come on. How long does this class even last?
Like an hour.
What? All right, I'll smoke in the car before we go in.
2, no swearing.
Are you me?
Roth.
Are you crapping me?
3, no knives.
What if there's an attack?
It's a bunch of children and mothers in a pool.
That's exactly when I would attack.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Damn it, Gump. Give me one margarita, I'm open my legs.
But you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
For nearly 20 years, a vaudeville comedian and baseball fanatic named DeWolf Hopper had been reciting a lengthy poem by Ernest Lawrence Thayer called Casey at the Bat, a ballad of the Republic. He had first tried it out on a Broadway audience in 1888 and gotten such applause that he kept it in the act. He would go on to recite the poem more than 10,000 times.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia, swung on, rattled around on the ground over towards short. Backhanded by Mastroboni. He'll throw out Arcia by a country mile, 1 away. Good backhanded sliding stop. For those of y'all that may not remember or just not aware, Dansby Swanson is on the IL. the hamstring injury. Knee injury. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is just off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves 1, Cubs nothing. The 1-0 swung on and popped back down the left field line, bending, foul, and out of play. 1-1. The 1-1. Rocks and fires just off the plate. Did he go around? He did not. 2-1. They checked down there with the third base umpire, Quinn Walcott. So the 2-1 count. Pitch on the way to Kelnick, down below the knees. Did he go around? He did. 2-2. That pitch looked like it was in the zone anyways. So a 2-2 to Kelnick. They are playing him to pull in the infield straight away in the out. The 2-2. Caught, looking strike 3. Fastball right down the pipe, just over the kneecaps on the inner cut. 2 away. He looked pretty confused in that entire at bat, even on the check swings. Not sure if he was picking the ball up well. So that'll bring Zach Short to the plate. Too Short, batting 105. He had the game-winning RBI last night. Righty. He's in for the injured Austin Riley, the 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Talked about this in the pregame. The one thing you will see from Short is you usually see him get up there and battle in the at-bat, and you got to love that. The 1-1 from Tyon. Swing! And fouls that away. 93 miles an hour. 1-2. I don't remember the last time I saw number 59 in the starting lineup of the Atlanta Braves. I was thinking about that the other night when I saw his jersey number. That's pretty high jersey number to be on the everyday roster. The 1-2 pitch swung on. That ball is laced into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and life is too short. Zach Short, 1 out, 1 on, 2 outs, and the top of the lineup coming to the plate for your Atlanta Braves. Good piece of hitting right there was the sweeper. He smokes it into left field, bringing up Ronald Acuna Jr. Acuna, 0 for 1 on the night. The first pitch to Acuna swung on. That's going to be an easy, lazy 6-4 put out to end the inning. Another at bat given up by Acuna. Will be back in a flash, heading to the top of the third inning.
Hey, check it out. A snow cone machine.
A snow cone machine?
You're saying it wrong. It's a snow cone machine.
I just found your old milkshake machine.
Oh, we're going to have to move the toaster.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play-by-Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Why is the dog on the counter?
He likes to be tall.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Joey Votto is one of the most patient, disciplined players in the game, and he could be a future Hall of Famer. He also has a ridiculously low pop-up rate over his career, which is at about 2%.
Between seasons, baseball's brightest stars supplemented their salaries on the vaudeville circuit. Outfielder Turkey Mike Donlin of the New York Giants married an actress and performed with her on tour. Cap Anson recited a monologue written for him by George M. Cohan. Even Christy Mathewson once played the Palace.
John McGraw, who had no act, he didn't sing, he didn't dance. Not that the other players necessarily did, but they tried. John McGraw would go on the vaudeville circuit in the off-season and simply be John McGraw. He would recite, he would answer questions. It was a sort of a Chautauqua form in a low-life territory.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We're going to try to get back to where we were and do a little bit of roll call here. We're going to rattle them off real quick in this inning. As the first pitch on the way from Chris Sale is a slider, and that came nowhere near the plate. Hits the batter in the back. Pete Crow Armstrong will gladly take that one. He had no chance in that at bat, I guarantee you. He takes one on the hip, and he'll head on down to first. If you're going to get one from Chris Sale, the slider's the best one to get. So 1 on, nobody out. Good evening, Travis, Edward, John, Brandon, Red Rum, Charlie, Brandon, Mr. Woodrow, Jillian, Goat. First pitch on the way to Wisdom. Misses well inside the slider. It's 1-0. Trying to scroll through these. Edward. The 0-1. 1-0, excuse me. Swing. Pops it back foul. It's 1-1. Good evening, Shelley. Mr. G. David. So a 1-1 count. I think I said Travis. Emilio. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's hammered down the left field line. Plenty foul. Man, did he smoke that pitch. Just couldn't keep it straight. 1-2. Robert. Ethan. Larry. Grandma King. And Brian. If I missed anybody, jump back in the chat. There's a lot to scroll through. Easier to catch up as we go. Wherever you're listening to us in Braves country, I'd love to know where y'all are listening from around this great world. The 1-2 from Sale. Lets her go. Swung on. Slaps it back. Foul. Behind home plate. 1-2. Not sure if I said hello to Brandon, but hello, Brandon and John. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Swung on. Just got a piece of that. Keep it alive. We'll do it again. Brandon's listening to us in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The 1-2. Remember that there's a I-24 that connects Chattanooga into Murfreesboro, Nashville. There's a winding, it's like a death trap going up and down I-24 in that area. The 1-2, outside wide, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. I'm assuming it still exists. It's like a roller coaster. So a 2-2 count. Bulls Gap, Tennessee. Where's Bulls Gap, Glenn? Good evening, Glenn. The 2-2. High and inside, 3-2. So a full count. Thank you, Shane. Good evening. Pembroke, Virginia. I've heard of Pembroke. Is there a school there? The 3-2. Did he go around and look like he did? He did. Strike 3. Chris Sale is out there dealing tonight. I know it's a mixed bag. He's hit a couple of batters, but he's now got 5 strikeouts. Through 2 1/3 inning. The first pitch on the way to the number 2 hitter, Suzuki, is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Seiya Suzuki, batting .284 on the year, .804 OPS. That's why Pembroke sounds familiar. Okay, Virginia Tech, the 0-1. Swung on. Pops up high in the sky. Acuna's got to come in, run for it, and he does not make the catch. Turns around, fires it over to second, and they're going to get the force out. Acuna had a long way to go and a little time to get there. So the out will be recorded 9-6 if you're scoring at home. He popped it up, and I think Acuna just got a bad read at first, and then he realized it was coming in. So he got on his horse, dove, and when he dove for the ball, he just missed it. And I think it was a hard read for the runner. He could hardly tell if he had caught the ball or not. By the time he realized that he did not catch the ball, it was too late. First pitch on the way to Bellinger, swung on, popped up high in the sky. Here comes Jared Kelenic, and he'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves get out of it, and when we come back, the heart of the order coming to the dish for your Atlanta Braves.
You know that thing that's in your head that tells you when it's time to stop talking? Where do you get those?
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Gene Autry was a man born in 1907 who you might know as the singer of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. On top of being a singer, an actor, and a soldier, Autry was also a fan of baseball. In fact, the man who sang Rudolph was also the man who founded the Angels. Who do you think is the player with the most Gold Glove awards? You might think of guys like Ozzie Smith, Brooks Robinson, or Willie Mays. But the actual answer is Greg Maddux with 18 Gold Gloves.
Is tomorrow Friday?
Yeah, why?
Because I think I'm going to get a little loose-goose. But more loose than the goose. Because the goose be violent.
Hey, Braves Country. This is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Y'all always want to say, get your lick back, get your lick back, get your lick back. If I get my lick back, I'm going to jail.
One summer day in 1908, a popular vaudeville entertainer named Jack Norworth boarded a Manhattan train and saw an advertisement that read, "Baseball Today, Polo Ground." He had never been to a professional game, but by the time he reached his stop, he had written out the lyrics for a song about baseball. When Norworth introduced the song in his act at the Amphion Theater in Brooklyn, it fell flat. But when Nickelodeon audiences were encouraged to sing along with lantern slides, it became a nationwide hit.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies, down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Shelly's listening to us in Charlotte, North Carolina. Josh in Palatka, Florida. The 1-0 pitch, righty-lefty, swung on, lifted high, not very deep. Had to reach for it, and that's going to get nothing under it. Suzuki, the right fielder, comes in and makes the catch, one away. One down, and Marcell Ozuna will come to the plate. What was the question? Who's the greatest Brave of all time? I mean, if I'm voting today, I'm going to say Marcell Ozuna. That dude's been unreal. But I've got a short memory. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Charlie from Southeast Georgia. So she's in hiding. She's not telling us what town. Fair enough. The 1-0 pitch, swing, and fouls it straight back out of play. It's 1-1. Technically, the greatest player to ever play for the Braves organization is Babe Ruth, but he was at the end of his career when he came to Boston. The 1-1, swung on, fouled straight back. It's 1-2. But overall, I mean, you got to give it to Hank. So a 1-2 count. Brunswick, Georgia. I think in my lifetime, well, who I saw play, I'll put it that way. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Down on strikes. Nasty bender on the outer edge. Taillon's pitching pretty well himself. He's not a guy known for a bunch of strikeouts, though he does have 2 already. But he will go into his bag of tricks of those 5 to 6 pitches that he uses. Once again, that changeup he rarely uses. In fact, I noticed that the TV broadcast didn't even mention it in his repertoire on the screen. They only mentioned the 5, but he does have a 6th in the changeup. First pitch to Olson is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Cutter misses down 1-1. In fact, in 2024, he's only used the changeup 1% of the time. The 1-1. Down below the knees, 4-seamer. 2-1. He leans heavily on the 4-seam cutter and curve and the sweeper. Those are the main ones. The 2-1. Swing and a miss curveball. It's 2-2. And his curveball, it's like a 1-7 where the sweeper comes in more like a 2-8. That's really the only difference because the speed is about the same. So a 2-2 count to Olson. 1 for 1 with a double and RBI. The pitch. High and out of the zone. Good take. 3-2. I've actually got a Babe Ruth Boston Braves. We went to Boston last year. We usually go to one Braves trip a year. We had never been to Boston. So we went to the Red Sox games, the 3-2 pitch. Down below the knees, ball 4. Good take. That was a close pitch. If he would have got rung up, it wouldn't have surprised me. That's one of those 50-50 ones. If you got a Braves cap on, it's a ball. If you got a Cubs cap on, it's a strike. Phillies beat the Mets earlier today, so we got to win to keep pace. Travis d'Arnaud comes to the plate. First pitch to Travis is swung on and chopped foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Braves 1, Cubs 0. Bottom of the third inning. The 0-1. Kicks and fires down below the knees. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Taillon comes set. The pitch on the way. Lets her go. Curve. I mean, that sweeper just missed the zone. Good Lord. He got the call for the ball, but that was tight. 2-1. I don't know how Travis didn't swing other than maybe it just locked him up. So a 2-1 count. Pitch on the way. Inside almost gets him. They checked down the line. He did not go. Ball 3, 3-1. He wasn't intending to swing, but he almost offered at it as he was spinning out of the way. That's one of the reasons why there's never been an actual definition of what a swing is on a check swing. The 3-1 pitch, down below the knees. That one they're going to call a strike. That's in the same spot that Olson took, but this time he got the call. Maybe the curve of that pitch hit the zone on the way down. You don't see that on the pitch tracker when you see it on the computer on your screen. The 3-2 pitch, swing, and fouls it straight back. Tried to sneak a fastball about letter high. Olson was on the go with 2 outs and a full count. Braves 1, Cubbies nothing. Bottom of the third. The full count. Swung on, pops it up. Should be an easy play for Pete Crow Armstrong. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves put 1 on, but can't do anything with it. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Middle of the order due up for Chicago.
Here we go again. I mean, good morning.
So I found myself in the
What doesn't kill me better run, era. And just a warning, even I'm a little scared.
You didn't get 110, it's 20 bucks, two $10 bills. That's actually 100. I think the tooth fairy was drinking last night.
I don't know. You know, it seems like bad things are always happening to me. Like I have bad luck or something.
Son, you don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. When Mickey Mantle was a young prospect, he went to St. Louis to try out for the Browns. But because of his scrawniness and overall unimpressive physical appearance, the Browns didn't even let him on the field. Little did they know, they had just turned away one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
People who long for the good old days before ball players got rich should have been a ball player back then. It was hard. They slept 2 to a bed often in the hotels. In fact, Rube Waddell's bunkmate required Connie Mack to put in his contract that Rube Waddell was not allowed to eat crackers in bed.
One of the crosses that Connie Mack had to bear was Rube Waddell of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. When he went to sign Rube to his first contract, he was met at the station in Punxsutawney by all the town leaders as he and Rube were about to get on the train. And Mack was terrified that they had come to to tell Rube not to sign for so little money, or that they wanted to keep him for the local team. And one of them stepped forward and said, "Mr. Mack, we're here to thank you for getting him off of our hands."
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. I remember years ago I was doing a show, a talk show up in Middle Tennessee, and there was a big argument on what a check swing was. And this was not too long after basically Ask Jeeves and all the stuff that led to Google came out with. Is the first pitch on the way from Sale to Morrell is high and out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. So for argument's sake, it was when all your Google tools came out. And someone had put up an article explaining is the 1-0 pitch, lefty-righty. Swing, pops it back, foul, it's 1-1. About how there isn't a definite definition, that it's up to the umpire's discretion on whether or not he felt like that you offered at the pitch. And so we go to break, and I read it, and I come back and share it to the guys on air, and you should have heard, you could have heard a pin drop, and the first guy that answers back is the 1-1 pitch, misses high and out of the zone. You gotta realize we're on a little college station. He starts letting F-bombs out. Well, that's a bunch of bleep, bleep. Why don't they come up with an actual rule for it? It was just, oh man, turning beet red. The 2-1 from Sale. Called for a strike outside, 2-2. So a 2-2 count to Morrell. He was hit by a pitch last time up, or at least we think. The pitch on the way. Misses outside changeup, ball 3-2. You got a full count. The pitch. Swung on, chopped over towards third. Short's got a hustle. He'll fire it over across the infield, and it's a 5-3 put out. Zach Short with the hustle and athletic play. One away. He was throwing off his front leg and hit it on a dime heading to first, excuse me. Yankees lead the Twins 2-1. That game is in the second. That'll bring Michael Talkman up. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way from Sales, 95 miles an hour on the inner cut for a strike. It's 0-1. A's and Astros are just getting underway in Houston. Washington and the White Sox are starting the second part of their doubleheader as they go 1 down and in 1-1. Washington won the first one 6-3. That game started at 4:40. Mets drop another one to the Phillies 4-0. They were shut out. The 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. They didn't get their first base hit. I believe it was in the 6th inning. And Aaron Nola had only thrown like 59 pitches. So a 1-2 count. Braves lead this just 1-0. Like to get in and out of this inning and get some insurance. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 95 miles an hour right down the pipe. Chris Sale is absolutely sailing along here to away. I love the way he explodes off the mound when he lets go of the pitch. Goes a little airborne. When he lands and it's a strikeout, he gets a little bit of an oomph, almost like a Tiger Woods fist pump. Sale set to face Madrigal. First pitch on the way is a slider, chop foul down the line. It's 0-1. Toronto and Baltimore were rained out. The 0-1 pitch. Lets her go. That slider is well outside the zone, 1-1. Dodgers and Giants, they'll get started a little later on tonight. As will the Cardinals and Angels. The 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball's hit over to short. Arcia's got it. Fires it across the infield. And it is a nice scoop by Olsen. Magic Kingdom to the Ice House. 6-3 in your scorecard. We're back in a flash.
Leave me alone. I'm a happily married man.
There's no way you're happy. You have 2 kids. Your wife is a disaster. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I will show her this. She will divorce you. You will become my brother forever.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. AL MVP Shohei Ohtani was not only a great hitter in 2021, but also a solid pitcher. A stat to show this is that in high leverage situations, Ohtani had the highest OPS as a hitter, and he held hitters to the lowest OPS as a pitcher. This means that Shohei was the clutchest hitter and pitcher.
George Edward Rube Waddell may have been the strangest man ever to play in the big leagues. A farmer's son from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. He possessed a fastball fearsome enough and a curve wicked enough to lead the American League in strikeouts for 6 straight years and to outpitch Cy Young for 20 innings. But it was his personality that most people remembered. He poured ice water on his arm before he pitched because he said otherwise he'd burn up the catcher's glove. And when he won a game, he sometimes turned cartwheels on the mound. He drank too much. The Sporting News called him the Southpaw, and he couldn't quite remember how many women he'd married. Between seasons, Waddell wrestled alligators and toured in a vaudeville melodrama, The Stain of Guilt. On the field, his attention tended to wander. Opponents could break his concentration by holding up puppies or bright, shiny toys. He loved fires, and when a fire bell clanged, he had to be restrained from leaving the game to chase the fire engine. Exasperated teammates and opposing players never knew what he'd do next, but fans loved him.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Michael Harris digs in. First pitch on the way, swung on, belted high and deep, going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lamma ding-dong. A 426-foot bullet, a bomb. And your Atlanta Braves take a 2-0 lead with a mighty smack over the track by Michael Harris II. It was that curveball that he was trying to get him to chase off the edge, but it hung up and stayed in the zone, and he timed it up beautifully. That'll bring Orlando Arcia to the plate. First pitch on the way to Arcia is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. That is Money Mike's 4th home run of the year. The 0-1 swung on, chopped towards the mound. It's a comebacker off the glove of Tyon. He's got to throw it to first. It's a bad throw. I think it actually hit Arcia in the back. He's going to be safe at first, but we need to check and shoot to make sure he's okay. Hopefully it's something he can just rub a little dirt on it. Tyon tried to backhand and just popped out of his glove. He rushed the throw. And I don't know if the ball hit Arcia or if it was the extended glove that hit him. Oh, no, it was definitely the ball. Hit him right in the small of the back. If nothing else, that's going to leave a mark. But he will stay in the game, seems to be okay. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is a swing foul down the line. Out of play, it's 0-1. That is the last thing we need is another injury. Later on tonight, you got the Cardinals in Los Angeles to face the Halos. Reds are at the Diamondbacks. Colorado's at San Diego. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-2. Another one, Gilbert versus Walker, Kansas City versus Seattle. That should be a pretty good one. So an 0-2 count to Kelnick. Standing on deck is too short. The pitch, down and in. Man, that was a nasty sweeper. That had wiffle ball action on it. It's 1-2. Braves come into today 2 games behind the Phillies. 6.5 in front of the Nationals. The 1-2. Outside wide, 2-2. Braves are 7 in front of the Mets. Good night, Irene. 16.5 in front of the Marlins. We're not even at Memorial Day. They are 11-32 on the year. The 2-2. Swing, and that ball's hammered into right field. That's going to be a worm burner into right over to Suzuki. Suzuki picks it up, fires it in the infield. Arcia goes station to station. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Too short. Zach Short coming to the plate. We'll find out here. I've wondered if he's a good bunter. This would be a perfect time for him to bunt over the runners if he is. It's kind of a lost start in baseball, so we'll find out. He's 1 for 1 on the year. A career right around the Mendoza line. First pitch on the way to short is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Well, I guess that's your answer. The 0-1. Righty. Inside almost gets him 1-1. Well, you don't want Short getting hurt with all the injuries we got, but I would like to see him just kind of stick his elbow pad out there and get on down to first. So a 1-1 to Short. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss 93 right down the pipe. It's 1-2. Ronald Acuna Jr. stands on deck. Ozzie in the hole. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. A 1-2 count. Tyon, 61st of the night. High and out of the zone. 2-2. Nothing else. The Braves have done a great job of running the pitch count up. If you're just joining us, Riley out again, and my guesstimation would be he's not going to play in this series. They're going to hope for the best on Friday. The 2-2, swung on, foul back out of play. We'll do it again. Listening to all the different interviews in the press conferences, the wording just made it sound like that there's not much of a chance he plays in this series. So a 2-2 count, pitch on the way, in the dirt, good take. They were trying to get him on that sweeper. I think Tyon was looking for one for him to chase out of the zone, but away that one was well down. So now a full count, and you know he's going to get something to hit. You don't want to load the bases with Acuna and the rest of them boys on the way. The payoff pitch from Taillon. He lets her go. Down below the knees, ball 4. Fastball, he was bringing it. Just couldn't find the zone. And we got the bases juiced. Ronald Acuna Jr. coming to the plate. Pitching coach Tom Hotterby is heading his way out there. You know, I'm not a big fan of the baseball managers that don't wear their jerseys, and the only reason why is they're assigned numbers so you know who they are from the jump. And though I have all this stuff jotted down, I think for the fans to not know who it is, you know, it's a tradition. Quit going out there all Belichick with your your hoodie out there. I mean, come on. Anyways, I'll turn off the old guy on my lawn, get off my lawn bit, and we'll get back to the action. Ronald Acuna Jr. is coming to the plate. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here we go. The first pitch on the way is in the dirt. That ball gets away. Skip it away. That's going to be a run. Easily coming in to score is Orlando Arcia. And it's 3-0 Hotlanta. That was a bad attempt. It wasn't a great pitch, don't get me wrong. You notice this over the last few years, I'd say the last half dozen years, of the catchers that come up is the 1-0 is well out of the zone 2-0. And they're not as polished as catchers in the past defensively. Usually a catcher back in the day, that pitch that was in the dirt in between his legs, he would put his body in front of it to block it. Amaya was just trying to backhand it. The 2-0. Inside almost gets him, ball 3-0. I think even Acuna knows he's not trying to throw at him. He has lost his way here. In the middle of this inning, he's got the yips. So a 3-0 count, runners on second and third. Nobody out. The pitch to Acuna. Swung on and hit up the middle. They're going to come home, and Kelenich's going to be dead meat. 6-2 is the putout. Mastroboni to Amaya. They had the infield in, and Acuna, well, it was halfway in. Acuna was hoping to slap one through. I think Kelenic probably should have just stayed where he was. I don't know if he was sent on that one. Have to see a replay from the view up top. But usually you're sent on a play like that. And that was just a bad read. So runners on first and second, 1 out. The first pitch on the way to Ozzie is off the plate wide for a ball, 1-0. So a big break for the Cubs and Taillon, because now a double play can get you out of the inning. The 1-0 to Oz. Swung on and missed. Curveball down below the knees. 1-1. The 1-1. Kicks and fires. Swing! And that ball's laced down the right field line, but plenty foul. Just past the first base dugout. It's 1-2. The other thing on that, with the injuries we've got, the last thing you want to see is Kelenic separate his shoulder diving into home plate like that. So a 1-2 count. High and out of the zone. Good take by Ozzie. He tried to get him to chase up around the letters and pop one up. It's 2-2. The 2-2. Taillon comes set, lets her go down below the knees. Ball 3-2. So Ozzy, good job of working it to a full count now. Marcell Ozuna stands on deck. You know, Taillon doesn't want to face him with the bases loaded. The payoff pitch from Taillon, looks back the runner for a second. Now he brings it. Swing! Rips that foul down the first base side. We'll do it again, 3-2. The infield is back and to the right. So there's a huge gap in between second and third. You got the third baseman playing over there almost like in a half shortstop position. The 3-2 pitch. Outside wide ball 4, and he does walk. Bases are loaded. Ducks are all over the pond. Here comes Marcell Ozuna. You got the bases juiced. The big zoo at the plate. The first pitch. Swing and a miss. He wanted to take that sweeper downtown. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. The pitch. Swung on. That ball is belted. Deep. Going back. On the track. Is it gone? Making the catch at the wall. Leaping catch for a loud out number 2. But on the play, too short, comes on home, and it's 4-0 your Atlanta Braves. We're talking about maybe 5 feet from a grand salami. Instead, it's 4-0, and it was deep enough for all the runners to advance. I was hoping he was going to run out of room. That was just underneath the yellow stripe that divides the wall and the fans in the stands. Matt Olson digs in. Not much wind blowing out there. Earlier this evening, there was some wind, and I think that is what kept it from going. He looked like he got a hold of that one. First pitch on the way to Olson. It's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The Ice House, 1 for 1 with an RBI double. He also walked. The 1-0 inside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lamma, ding-dong, a 3-run bomb in the Ice House. 432 happy feet later. Atlanta, 7. Chicago, nothing. Looks like a score from November. Pay dirt, baby. His 5th home run, 22nd RBI of the year, 108 miles an hour off the bat, 27-degree launch angle if you care about that one. First pitch on the way to Travis d'Arnaud is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0, rocks and fires, right there at the knees, 1-1. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Over the top, it's 1-2. Braves 7, Chicago nothing. The pitch. Outside wide 2-2. Righty. The 2-2 deuces wild here in Atlanta. Pitch swung on, banged hard on the ground. It's going to get scooped up by Wisdom. Flips it over to Bellinger, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 6 on the board. It's 7-0 in Atlanta. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Exes be like, but I gave you the world. You gave me depression and a yeast infection. Shut the up.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. There have been 4 times where a player to be named later was themselves. For example, in 2005, John McDonald was traded from the Blue Jays to the Tigers for a player to be named later. 4 months later, the trade was completed when McDonald was reacquired by the Blue Jays as the player to be named later.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I just super daddied my pants.
What?
Should do those. I my pants, I think.
You don't have pants on.
Sunday would come and the little park would be packed way before game time. Everybody wanting to see the great Rube Waddell pitch. Nowhere to be found. Manager'd be having a fit. And then just a few minutes before the game time, there'd be a commotion in the grandstand. You'd hear people laughing and yelling, "Here comes Rube! Here comes Rube!" And there he'd come right through the stands. He'd jump down onto the field, cut across the infield, the clubhouse, taking off his shirt as he went. In about 3 minutes, he never wore any underwear. He'd run back out in uniform and yell, "All right, let's get him." Sam Crawford.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves. Now, why in the world would they want to show us that Freddie Freeman hit a home run about a year ago in his return from the Dodgers? First pitch on the way from Chris Sale is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. That was what was coming over the screen. I was like, what? Show that in the Dodgers game. The 1-0 pitch, high and out of the zone, 2-0. So after a long seat on the bench, Sale's going to try to get back sharp again. He's only at 62 pitches. He's got 6 strikeouts so far in 4 innings. The 2-0, fastball right there on the outer cut, 2-1. Marlins lead the Tigers, is that right? 1-0 in the 10th? Only those two teams can come up with 1 run in 10 innings. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, pops it up, high in the sky. Here comes Olsen. He'll make the catch. 1 away. So 1 down. Chris Sale just needs that 1 strikeout if he ended up taking that player prop to hit his mark tonight. First pitch on the way to Mastroboni, swung on, grounded over to second. It's going to be a 4-3 putout, 2 away. Braves lead at 7-0. You would think to save the bullpen, he would get at least 1 more inning. And if he's pitching well, why not take him into the 7th? Pete Crow Armstrong is at the plate. He takes the first pitch right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. He got bailed out by a slider that hit him in the small of the back his first time up on the first pitch, the 0-1. Swing and fouls it back. It's 0-2. 93 miles an hour. First time seeing Chris Sale as a left-hander has got to be an absolute nightmare. The 0-2. Sale turns his back, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Travis d'Arnaud's going to have to flip it over to first as the ball got away, but that'll end the inning. And Chris Sale got his 7 strikeouts. He hit the player prop. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
People would be like, damn, you're just so chill. I'm like, thanks, I gave up.
Lastly, before I open the bar in the morning, I always make sure to turn on the Coors sign, let people know we got Ice Delicious Coors in the bar, and then that's the last thing I do.
That sign does not say Coors.
Come outside, come outside, come outside.
It's closed. It says closed.
Okay. Yeah, right, I can see that now, but, you can't really read it from the inside.
You can't read it from the outside.
All right.
Today we're going to talk about crazy stats. Both Cecil and Prince Fielder ended their careers with 319 home runs. They both made their major league debuts at the age of 21. They both had 1 season with 50 or more home runs, 1 season with 40 or more home runs, and 4 seasons with 30 or more home runs. Exactly 40% of their hits went for extra base hits, and 22% of the balls they put into play were line drives. And that's not all. They also matched each other with 97 two-out home runs, 49 fourth-inning home runs, 29 fifth-inning home runs, and 18 ninth-inning home runs.
Players like Waddell, with their drinking, with their bad acting, with their inability to take their profession seriously, they came to baseball in its early years in very large numbers because baseball, though popular, was outside social norms. The instability of a career where you might work for a year or two and then be gone, the jumping from team to team, seemed to be suited toward individuals who couldn't fit as well in the rest of society. Now, it helped in the case of Rube Waddell and many of these other sociopathic figures, that in addition to being sociopaths, they also had incredibly strong arms or very good batting eyes.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 7-0. That score is right. The Braves bats have finally woken up. Michael Harris II, who led off the last inning with a solo shot and got things rolling, he'll face the new pitcher, Jose Quest, who's coming in with a 9 ERA in 8 innings. Kind of a mop-up role here for him. The 1-0, outside wide, 2-0. Jose's got kind of a funky delivery from the right side, kind of a slingshot delivery. It's probably not as difficult for a lefty to pick up. For a righty, I bet it is. The 2-0, outside wide ball, 3-0. So a 3-0 count. Standing on deck is Arcia. The pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Money Mike will head on down to first. First pitch on the way to Arcia is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 just grabs the edge of the zone, 1-1. Runner on first, nobody out. Standing on deck is Kelnick. The 1-1 inside, 1-2. The 1-2 count. The pitch, swing, and chopped over towards second. Slow developing double play ball. Instead, it's going to be a 4-3 putout. Michael Harris, the second, had to skip over that ball. That ball almost got him, which would have been an automatic out. Instead, MH2 stands on second with one away. First pitch on the way to Jared Kelnick, who was thrown out at home his last time out, coming from third. Misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss outside wide, 1-1. Braves 7, Cubbies nothing. The pitch. Swing and a miss off the edge. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Coyce comes set. Inside. Caught looking, strike 3. Kind of a half-hearted check swing, 2 away. I think that one just absolutely fooled him. So 2 down, and Harris still standing at second. Coming to the plate is Short. Zach Short's 1 for 1. He takes the first pitch inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Short's 1 for 1 with the run scored. He also drew a walk. So all in all, he's done really, not just in the field, he's done really well at the plate filling in for Riley. The 1-0, chop foul over towards the third base dugout of the Chicago Cubs. Evens up the count, 1-1. The 1-1 swung on and slapped over to first. Bellinger's got it. He hits the pitcher covering the bag, and it's going to be a 3-1 put out to end the inning. Braves threaten but fail to score. We come back. The Cubs are coming back with the top of the order.
Do you want me to get you a drink?
No, it's 8:30 in the morning. What is wrong with you?
But we're at the airport.
Oh, that's right. No, I already have one. I'm good. Thanks.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Why does Kenley Jansen wear the number 74? Jansen was one of the best closers of the 2010s, but things haven't always been good for Kenley. When he was 12, his father suffered a stroke and he couldn't work anymore. As a result, his mother Bernadette had to work day and night to support the family. She would tell Kenley and his siblings that everything was okay when they were actually in deep financial troubles. Kenley knew about the family's issues, so he promised her he would do everything he could to fix their problems. At the age of 17, Jansen was a catcher and he signed with the Dodgers. He had a good arm but was struggling at the plate, so the Dodgers turned him into a pitcher. In 2011, the Dodgers gave him a major league contract worth $416,000. With no hesitation, Kenley sent the money to his family back in Curacao in order to help pay off the home's mortgage. That house in Curacao is on Kaya Kokolishi 74, and Jansen wears the number 74 to honor his family and his roots.
Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
In 1904, Waddell struck out 349 batters, a record for American League left-handers, but he was just too hard to handle. Though he was one of the greatest pitchers in baseball, his unreliability infuriated his teammates, and he was driven out of the big leagues and then out of the minors. Waddell contracted tuberculosis, helping victims of a flood, and died on April 1st, 1914, at the age of 37.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Chris Sale. From Chris Sale. It's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty, righty. Wisdom, the batter, he's 0 for 2. The pitch, 95 out of the zone, 1-1. I like Kenley Jansen, John. I like him better when he's not in a Braves uniform because he was stressful. But as a person, I like Kenley. The 1-1. Swing. Pops it up, back, foul, out of play. 1-2. He grew up an Atlanta Braves fan because being from Curacao, he was a huge Andrew Jones fan. And he originally wanted to be a catcher for the Atlanta Braves. When he was drafted by the Dodgers, they converted him into a pitcher because of his arm strength. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nasty changeup. 1 away. If you refresh your screen, you'll see we finally got the conductor emoji up for you country club members. We weren't able to do it earlier because of all the technical difficulties. The last thing I wanted to do was have a complete meltdown here in the studio trying to load those up. But that's the conductor for the nickname of the Chris Sale. The first pitch on the way from Sale to Suzuki is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Chris Sale. The 1-0. Slider down and in. Call it a strike. Not sure about that one, but we'll take it. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Sale now with 8 strikeouts on the night. The pitch swung on, chopped over to third. Shorts got it. Flips it over to Olsen. 5-3 on the putout. Two away. So 2 down, and Chris Sale is only sitting at 75 pitches, by the way. Bellinger comes in, and he takes 94 right at the knees. A P on the outer edge. It's 0-1. 5 2/3, 1 hit. And remember, that was just a dink into the outfield. That was not a hard hit ball. The 0-1, slap foul. It's 0-2. Can we wrap the pitching staff in a bubble right now, the starting pitchers, and get them to October and pitch them the way they're... If we could get Sale and Freed and Raylo and Charlie to all be pitching the way they're pitching right now, this Braves team's not getting beat in the playoffs. The 0-2, down and away, 1-2. Problem is that's a long way to go. Well, you think about how well those 4 guys are pitching. And those would be the 4 guys you would lean on in the postseason right now. Elders has pitched pretty well as well. Other than the outing against the Dodgers, he was really good. The 1-2. Swatted foul and out of play. We'll do it again. He wouldn't be in line to be on the starting rotation, assuming health. But if he can continue to bring you those kinds of innings all year long, those are important innings in a long season. The 1-2 from Sale. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chris Sale, the conductor, all aboard. 9 strikeouts through 6 innings. We'll be back in a flash.
If I ever say, do you want me to be honest? You might want to just say no.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Excuse me, what the hell's going on out here?
Well, Nook's scared because his eyelids are jammed in his old man's hair.
We need a live, was it a live rooster? We need a live rooster to take the curse off Jose's glove, and nobody seems to know what to get Millie or Jimmy for their wedding present.
Today we're going to talk about crazy stats. BJ and Justin Upton both hit their 99th career home runs on the same day, July 20th, 2012. They would follow that up with their 100th career home run on the same day, August 3rd. In between the home runs, they both had 7 hits, 6 singles, and an extra base hit.
I love watching closely what I think is this psychological duel between the pitcher and the batter, as well as a physical duel, knowing that each one is anticipating what the other one is going to do, and that one of them is going to win, one is going to lose. I mean, that's what's so wonderful about it. I mean, people who don't understand baseball think about, well, what is it, these 9 guys on the field? If you love it at that moment, it's just as exciting as a heavyweight boxing match. These 2 people are dueling each other, and with all of their memory of the other person, and the great pitchers and the great batters have studied the other person. That's what's so wonderful.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. is swung on and fouled down the third base line. It's 0-1. Jose Cuellar is back out there. They're on a shift in the infield to the left, straight away and deep in the out. The 0-1. Inside, called for a strike. That's a 7-0 in the 6th inning strike. If I've ever seen one, it's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Righty, the pitch on the way, swung on and ripped over towards short. Hard hit ball, but right at the shortstop. It's going to be a 6-3 put out. Mastroboni to Bellinger. 1 away. Seven nothing your score, bottom of the 6th inning. Ozzie Albies comes up. The first pitch is way outside, wide pitch out territory, 1-0. You got to figure Jose Cuellar is going to be asked to go at least one more inning. Is the 1-0 high and out of the zone, 1-1. Get him some work, but also they're going to try to rest the pen to hopefully try to steal a game here tomorrow night. The 1-1 to Ozzie. Swing, pops it up. High down the left field line. Bending out of play. About 10 rows back. 1-2. The 1-2. They drift inside the pitch. Swing, and that ball's rattled into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Your Atlanta Braves got runner on once again. 1 on, 1 out. Man, is this offense getting right? Amazing what happens when you get a chance to come home. It's felt like they played the entire first month and a half on the road in the cold weather. One on, 1 out, and Marcell Ozuna digs in. Pitch is well inside. Almost gets Ozuna. Missed him right around the belt range. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Inside 93 miles an hour. Ball 2, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Ozzie at first. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Marcell was going for the downs on that one. It's 2-1. He popped about 3 buttons off his shirt taking a swing at that one. So a 2-1. Righty. Pitch on the way. Outside wide, 91 miles an hour. Ball 3, 3-1. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's hit high, deep down the left field line, into the glove. Right there on the warning track. Tauchman to make the catch. 2 down. So 2 down. Matt Olson coming to the plate. First pitch on the way to Olson, who had a 3-run homer. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Fastball just grabs the top of the zone. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way, outside wide, 1-2. Runner on first, 2 outs. The pitch to Olson. Down and away. Tried to get him with a sweeper. I think they were looking to go in on that. Missed it well out of the zone. The 2-2. Swing! And hits it high down the left field line, but fouling out of play. Braves 7, Cubs nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning. The 2-2 to Riley. Outside wide, ball 3. So with a full count, Ozzy's going to be on the move with 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Swing, and that ball's belted high and deep. Going back on the track, making the catch at the Coca-Cola sign. Back up against the wall. That was almost 2 home runs tonight. We'll be back in a flash. Olson slaps his hams. Cannot believe he missed that one.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. The San Francisco Giants were very close to becoming the Toronto Giants. In 1976, Giants owner Horace Stoneham sold the team to a group of companies in Toronto. The Toronto Giants were set to debut later that year, but a U.S. court stopped the deal. After hearing the news, a man named Bob Lurie bought the Giants and kept them in San Francisco.
What's the best part of being a Mets fan?
To be honest with you, the character development, it really builds you for the rest of your life because it's such a miserable franchise. A lot of peaks and valleys with this team.
So if that's the best part, what's the worst part?
Probably May through September.
Myers bringing it, and the pitch is hit in the air, foul, off first, Benzinger backing and calling, and the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Bell, left field, way back, Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
On August 2nd, 1907, I encountered the most threatening sight I ever saw on a ball field. He was only a rookie, and we licked our lips as we warmed up. Evidently, manager Pongo Joe Cantillon had picked a rube out of the cornfields of the deepest bushes to pitch against us. He was a tall, shambling galoot, with arms so long they hung far out of his sleeves and with a sidearm delivery that looked unimpressive at first glance. One of the Tigers imitated a cow mooing, and we hollered, "Get the pitchfork ready, Joe. Your hayseed's on the way back to the barn." The first time I faced him, I watched him take that easy wind-up, and then something went past that made me flinch. The thing just hissed with danger. We couldn't touch him. Every one of us knew we'd met the most powerful arm ever turned loose in a ballpark. Ty Cobb.
Welcome back. The conductor goes back to work. First pitch on the way. Is a bender well out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 from Sale. Looks into Darno. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's hit hard on the ground, but right at Arcia. He's got it. He'll flip it over to first. Quickly one away here in the top of the 7th. I don't think they have a desire to see Sale throw a ton of pitches because they're trying to monitor, considering his injury past. So I get that, but man, if there's ever a night where he could go all night, it's this one. First pitch on the way, 94-mile-an-hour sinker on the edge, slaps the side of the zone. It's 0-1. 83 pitches with one out in the 7th. The 0-1. 96. Home plate umpire Junior Valentine said it missed the zone inside. I don't know where it missed. 1-1. The 1-1. Rocks and fire. Swing and a miss. 1-2. He's a strike away from getting double-digit strikeouts again. Remember, he had 10 strikeouts his last time out. The 1-2 pitch. Just got a piece of that, rolls it foul. Braves 7, Cubs nothing. Top of the 7th inning. The pitch. Swung on, just got a piece of that one. Rolled over the top of it. It dribbled back behind home plate. We'll do it again, 1-2. Sale at 87 pitches. So probably not realistic they would leave him in for 9. He may go 8, but they also may just decide to call it a night and let him leave on a high note. The 1-2 from Sale. Inside, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-2. A lot of people get fixated on the pitch count. The other thing that they have started focusing on the last few years, what they call the up downs, meaning how many times a pitcher goes up and down, basically means how many innings. The 2-2, swung on, lifted high into left field, drifting back, making the catch on the warning track is Jared Kelenic. 2 away. So 2 down. Austin Riley most likely doesn't play tomorrow. I'd be willing to bet he doesn't play tomorrow because the philosophy of Snicker and company is the first pitch on the way. It swung on, that ball's rifled up the middle. Down for a base hit. There's 1 on with 2 outs. Magical gets on. They have a philosophy, and I don't really fall in line with it, but their philosophy is the whole key to a series is to win the series. So if they get up 2-0 in a series in the regular season, they don't mail it in the 3rd game, but they don't necessarily put their best foot forward. First pitch on the way to Amaya from Sale. It swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. What I mean by that is, so because of that, there's not much of a chance Riley plays tomorrow. But like they will typically, you won't see the best of the bullpen on the 3rd game of a possible sweep. A lot of times you'll see them give guys days off because that's just their philosophy. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, grounded over towards 3rd. Short's got it, and that'll end the inning. If that's it, what a great outing by Chris Sale. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Time to get up and stretch, Braves country. Welcome back. Travis d'Arnaud takes the first pitch outside for a ball. It is 1-0. 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Miller now the pitcher. Right down there the pipe on the outer edge. 1-1. Tyson Miller, 28-year-old right-hander from Fairfield, California. The 1-1 swing pops it up high in the sky into center field. Coming in is Pete Crow Armstrong. He'll make the catch. F8, one away. Tyson Miller, 6'5", 220 pounds. Played his college ball at California Baptist. Drafted in 2016 by the Cubs in the 4th round. He was originally expected to be a starting pitcher. Has worked his way back into the bullpen fold after going from Chicago in 2020 as the first pitch to Michael Harris II is swatted back foul out of play. It's 0-1. Resurfaced in Texas in 2023 and then played for Milwaukee, the Mets, and the Dodgers last year. The 0-1 swatted out of play, back behind home plate, 0-2. He comes in tonight with a lifetime ERA of 5.91 in 25 appearances. The 0-2 to Harris. Kicks and fires, swing, and that ball's chopped foul. Do it again. Seven 7-0 your score, and you got the mop-up guy on the mound. Always think of something Pete Rose said way back in the day when they asked him how he got to his record-breaking hit total. As the 0-2 pitch is swung on, hit back over towards the left-hand side. It's going to be a tough play. 5-3 put out. Good play by Patrick Wisdom. 1-2 away. And he always talked about, he said, I'm trying to remember who he said he heard it from, but I don't remember. It was someone he played early on with the Reds. And he said they taught him to never give away an at-bat, meaning if you're down 10-0, if you're up 10-0, all those base hits are going to matter on the back of your bubblegum card year in and year out. And when your career totals, all those are going to matter. First pitch on the way to RC is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swung on. That ball is laced up the middle. Backhanded play by the second baseman, Magical. He'll have to stick it in his pocket. Braves got 1 on, 2 outs. It's funny, I can't remember who it was. I saw it earlier. I didn't see it until the break. A lot of times I don't see a lot of comments until the break. But I saw someone make a comment that Travis d'Arnaud, being the future manager, is the first pitch on the way to Kelenic. Is swung on, hit hard on the nose. A leaping grab at the wall by Suzuki. That'll end the inning. We'll head at the top of the 8th. I'll tell you my theory on Travis d'Arnaud when we come back.
Coming out of retirement
Whoa,
for this
whoa,
one.
whoa, what?
Yeah.
Buddy, I don't know who you are. You're about to get chlamydia.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Billy Wagner is possibly the best left-handed reliever of all time. Despite being a lefty, Wagner was born a natural righty. At the age of 7, he broke his right arm not once, but twice. While recovering, Billy learned to throw left-handed, and the rest is history. You might think that the St. Louis Cardinals are named after the bird, but that's not the case. In 1899, a reporter named Willie McHale overheard a woman talking about the, at the time, St. Louis Perfectos uniforms, saying that they were a lovely shade of cardinal. Fans liked the moniker Cardinals, and the name stuck.
Armchair.
Washington manager Joe Cantillon had received a report about a 19-year-old pitcher said to be tearing up the Idaho State League. This boy throws so fast you can't see him, the scout said, and he knows where he is throwing because if he didn't, there would be dead bodies all over Idaho. Walter Perry Johnson was a modest country boy from Humboldt, Kansas, with broad shoulders, long arms, and a curious motion that delivered the ball faster than any other pitcher had before him, and perhaps none has since. Still, he was cautious. Before signing up, he asked for a return ticket home, just in case things didn't work out back east. Things did work out. Johnson hurled the ball so fast that one batter left the box after 2 swings. The umpire told him he had a 3rd swing coming. "I know," he said, "and you can have the next one. It won't do me any good." "There's only one way to time Johnson's fastball," said Bertie McCree. "When you see the arm start forward, swing." Another batter simply shook his head. "You can't hit what you can't see."
In the words of the umpire, Billy Evans, he said, "Was it hard to call a game that Walter Johnson was pitching?" And he said, "Well, it wasn't really that hard. They wouldn't second guess me because not only were my eyes closed, their eyes were closed too."
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. By the way, if you had action on the game tonight, Blue Jays Orioles, that was one of the games on our Cover Country picks. So it's been postponed. It will not be made up till July 29th. So all of those books are canceling the bet and just giving the money back, canceling the ticket. Aaron Bummer will get some work in. First pitch from Bummer is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Cutter well off the plate wide. 1-1. The 1-1 rocks and fires. Got himself a strike there. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sweeper off the edge. Nice pitch by Bummer. 1 away. One down. Atlanta leads this one 7-0. First pitch on the way here in the top of the 8th with 1 out is a strike to Pete Crow Armstrong. Lefty-lefty matchup. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swung on, grounded over to first. Olson's got it. He'll step on the bag. About a half step in front of Armstrong. He can really fly. 2 away. 2 down. Man, this game is moving fast. We started this game just 2 hours ago on the nose. We're already in the top of the 8th. And assuming everything goes to plan, there will be no bottom of the 9th. Patrick Wisdom with 2 outs steps in. He's 0 for 3. Lefty righty. The pitch from Bummer. Sweeper misses well outside the zone. 1-0. Keep hearing good news. Good chance that Pierce Johnson's going to be back this weekend. The 1-0. Swung on, popped up. High into center field. Who's going to make the catch? It's going to fall in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle there. Short, center, and left, all converging on the play. Kelenic laid out for it. Thank the good Lord there was no contact, because if he knocks into Arcia, he's either going to take his knees out or separate Kelenic's shoulder. I think Arcia lunging for it affected his ability to catch it. But Kelenic called for it very, very late. First pitch on the way. The sinker right there for a strike to Suzuki. It's 0-1. I love the fact that Kelenic's laying out and hustling with a 7-run lead. But the last thing you want to see is a collision. The 0-1 swung on, chopped over towards third. Short's got it, fires it across the diamond, and it's a 5-3 put out. Life is too short. We'll be back in a flash. He's going to be leading off the bottom of the 8th.
I'll be late for work again. That's the 5th time I've been late this week. It's only Tuesday.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
JD.
So's your face.
That doesn't even make any sense.
So's your face always makes sense.
JD, that's stupid.
So's your face. I'm on fire. Hello!
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Bob Feller was one of the best and most feared pitchers of all time, especially because of his fastball. As a teenager, Feller was already a famous prospect. At the age of 16, a scout offered Feller a contract of $1 and an autographed baseball, which Feller accepted.
Walter Johnson's record of 110 shutouts still stands. He once held the New York Highlanders scoreless 3 times in 4 days. And although he rarely had the backing from the Senators that he deserved, he managed to win 417 games over his career and to win 20 or more games for 10 successive seasons. The relentless velocity of his pitching won him the nickname Big Train.
Sometimes he's referred to as a legend. He isn't a legend. A legend, according to Webster, has yet to be proved. It's a bit mythical. There's nothing mythical about Walter Johnson. He existed and was probably the best pitcher of all time.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Zach Short. This is a swing and a miss strike. It's on 1. The 0-1. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Chopped over towards third. It's going to be a 5-3 put out. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. So 1 down. Ronald Acuna Jr. will come to the plate. Acuna's 0 for 4. The first pitch to Acuna is swatted towards the first base dugout. Foul. It's on 1. Braves 7, Cubs nothing. Braves got 6 of the 7 runs, all in 1 inning tonight. As the 0-1 right down the pipe sinker. 0-2. Scored 1 in the first, 6 in the fourth, and that's it. The 0-2 to Acuna. High and out of the zone. 4-seam fastball, 1-2. Standing on deck is Ozzie. If anybody gets on, Ozuna. The 1-2. Comes set, lets her go. Inside and high. 2-2. Matt Olson, if you're just joining us, definitely is the player of the night, along with Chris Sale. Michael Harris had a home run. Is the 2-2 outside wide ball, 3-2. Matt Olson has 4 RBIs with a 3-run home run. The full count pitch. Swing, and that ball's lifted high and deep into right center field. Making a crashing catch at the wall is Pete Crow Armstrong. Wow. What an athletic play 2 away. He gets a nod from his pitcher. He was on his horse and slammed into the wall. He had just enough time to be able to catch that and brace himself before he hit the padding. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is a swing and a miss strike, top of the zone. It's 0-1. Ozzie Albies 2 for 3 on the night. He's now batting .283 with a .775 OPS. The 0-1 swung on, chopped foul down the line. It's 0-2. Ozzie's another one, though his numbers are fairly decent so far this year. Ozzie has a tendency to get smoking hot a couple of times a year. We haven't really seen that yet. He started a little bit at the beginning of the year, but then cooled off really quickly. We haven't seen those hot streaks from Acuna or Ozzie or Riley. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Hopefully, Matt Olson's starting to get hot. We'll be back in a flash. We're going to try to slam the door shut as we head to the top of the ninth.
People say, you're too old to be fighting. Well, you're too old to be talking to someone like me because I will punch you in your damn throat.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I understand that we're not friends anymore. Okay, look, man, you brought this on yourself. I know I did, but that's no reason for me to suffer.
Why did Robin Ventura charge the mound against Nolan Ryan? Robin Ventura getting beaten by Nolan Ryan in a headlock is absolutely iconic. But why did Ventura think it was a good idea to go after Ryan? Pudge Rodriguez has gone on record saying that the White Sox and Rangers had bad blood for years, even as recently as the previous series between the two teams. The inning before the fight, White Sox pitcher Alex Fernandez plunked Ranger outfielder Juan Gonzalez. When Nolan Ryan got on the mound, he retaliated by hitting Robin Ventura. Ventura felt that it was intentional, so he decided to go for it. After the game, Nolan Ryan claimed innocence, saying, "I didn't expect that to happen. I was just trying to pitch him inside." Ventura, on the other hand, felt it was 100% intentional, saying, "If you don't think he did it on purpose, you don't know the game."
New York writers were determined to make Christy Mathewson the best pitcher, the pitcher hero of all time. And in that sense, they were tended to ignore Walter Johnson. They couldn't do this because Walter Johnson surpassed Mathewson in so many ways. If Walter Johnson were pitching for a team that had the winning percentage of Mathewson's Giants, there would have been no contest.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We have not seen this man pitch in a hot minute. Jackson Stevens is coming on. Stevens has thrown 1 1/3 inning. And you got to wonder, is he going to be the one sent down and packing one? Pierce Johnson comes back possibly on Friday. The first pitch from Jackson Stevens is a fastball out of the zone. 1-0. The 1-0 right down the pipe, swing and a miss sinker. It's 1-1. The problem with Stevens, he does not have any options left, so if they send him down, anybody could claim him. The 1-1 from Stevens. Pitch on the way, outside, just misses. Looked like it slapped the zone. They call it a wide ball, 2-1. The 2-1. Swing and fouls it out of play. Bellinger now at 2-2. Stevens, 30-year-old, 6'2", 220-pounder out of Oxford, Alabama. Drafted by the Reds in 2012. He is a big Alabama Crimson Tide fan. First pitch on the 2-2 pitch on the way to Bellinger, swung on and grounded foul. Do it again. Jackson Stevens Pitched way back on May 4th. The 2-2. Swung on, chopped. Little dribbler into the Braves dugout. We'll do it again. He pitched an inning and a third against the Dodgers. Gave up 1 run, 4 hits. It was a solo shot. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. Cutter up top. 1 away. One down. So y'all were talking about Travis d'Arnaud being the possible manager of the future for the Rays. I'd hire him as a player manager right now. Just make him the manager. I think he would be phenomenal. First pitch to Morel, swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1 from Stevens. Lets her go. Swing. Pops it back foul. Will it stay in play? d'Arnaud gives chase. He'll make the catch. 2 away. So the Braves are 1 out away from a series win against the Cubs. We'll try to go for the sweep tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. 7:20 first pitch. If you missed the note at the top of the board, we're going to start coming on, turning the stream on 1 hour before first pitch for those that want to chat with everybody. We were doing that last year and kind of got out of that rhythm of it, but realized that we hadn't been doing it. We've been coming on more like less than an hour. So the plan is to start coming on the stream exactly 1 hour before first pitch unless something's preventing us. The 1-0 from Stevens to Talkman is a 93-mile-an-hour sinker up high for a strike, a wide strike, a 7-0 with 2 outs in the 9th strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 swung on and swatted foul down the line. It's 1-2. So the Cubs are down to their last strike. Phillies have already beaten the Mets, so the Braves will stay 2 games out. Tied in the loss column. The 1-2 pitch. Swing. Pops it up. High in the sky. Can of corn. First one tonight, really. Who wants it? Ozzie Albies will make the catch. And that'll end the game. 7-0 your final. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. They'll do the gritty in the outfield, and Kelnick will do his version of it. One of my favorite things this year. Atlanta, 7, Cubbies, nothing. Braves country tonight with open phone lines on the way. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves country.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves Country. We'll do this for a few minutes, probably about 10 minutes or so, and wrap up a pretty good game for your Atlanta Braves. Braves win it 7-0. If you do want to call in, the number's right there on the screen. Number to call if you're listening on radio as well. It's 678-960-9700. That's 678-960-9700. Atlanta Braves win this one 7-0. Real quick, we'll hit the recap. I know it's a weeknight, so a lot of folks don't stay up very late. And hey, Braves got in and out of this one. They get is 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's not too shabby. Chris Sale, Matt Olson. You know, normally you would go with the pitcher, 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, and 2 hits. But I think we got to give Matt Olson the game ball. He's had such a struggle. And to see him start to come out of it, 2 for 3 with a home run, 4 RBI. He also got a walk, raising his batting average to 218. I know that's not impressive, but hey, he was batting 196 last weekend. So, see him come up. Welcome into Braves Country Radio. You're on Braves Country Radio. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, Mac, it's Brian from Ohio.
Hey, Brian from Ohio. How the hell are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I wanted to... I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. What you got?
Oh, I was going to say, man, I'm so glad that AA got Lopez and Sale. We'd be in the cellar if we didn't have those two.
I mean, are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, the Sale thing we knew was going to be outstanding. I talked about it quite a bit on during the preseason, how much I thought that Sale was going to be an addition. But I honestly thought, now granted, I was under the impression Spencer Strider was going to be with us. But I was under the impression that Raylo was going to get a handful of starts, keep him stretched out, and then we'd see him transfer to the bullpen because he's never been a very good starting pitcher. He's always been an outstanding relief arm, but starting pitching, he has flipped a switch. And as long as he's pitching like this, as long as he's pitching like this,
they must have figured something out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not just a bona fide starter for this team. If the playoffs start tomorrow, he is our number 3 easily. And you may mix them up to the 2 because you may not want the 2 lefties going back to back.
Right. Have you heard anything on, I asked this in the comments, have you heard anything on Sean Murphy? Like how he's doing?
Yes. So he's been, by the way, we do want to welcome Shane as a new member. Shane joined the country club, so welcome in, Shane. Yes, so Sean Murphy. They are taking their time with Sean Murphy. The short of it is this. I believe we're going to see him somewhere around Memorial Day, maybe a little earlier. And I do believe that if we were talking about a team that needed his services right now, he would probably already be back. But they've been taking it easy because they want to make sure that when Sean Murphy does come back, that he is 100%, doesn't have to go right back to the IL and is good to go. But he took some swings last week. He took batting practice, I believe they said 3 times, and he started taking some catches behind the plate. But it's a lot of light work right now. But they may have to send him to on a rehab assignment because he's just going to be rusty as hell.
Right. Something else I wanted to comment on. I think we did a pretty good job of letting Swanson walk too, because like I haven't seen or heard anything from him for quite a while.
Yeah, he's hurt right now, but he is off to a slow start. That's for sure. I think Swanson would have been signed if he would have taken what was the original offer by the Braves. So he Dansby Swanson, when he signed his deal, I think a lot of people thought, well, the Braves just didn't want to bring him back, blah, blah, blah. What it really came down to with him was that his deal from Chicago was significantly higher than what the Braves offered. He signed a 7-year, $177 million deal. Now, as far as AV goes, that's not significant. But the Braves were offering somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5 or 6 years and around 125, 130 million. So that's
he didn't
why.
Want, he didn't want to take the home team discount.
Right, exactly. And you got to realize too, it was an easy choice for him. Not only was he going to make about $50 million more, but his wife is from Chicago. She's a professional soccer player, and I think she plays. I think she plays for the Chicago team as well. But she's from that area. So I remember when he signed, he made some kind of comment was we lived in my hometown. We did it my way to start. Now it's time to live, and do it her way. So it's one of those things where he was going to make a hell of a lot more money. Now you can make an argument the taxes in Illinois are a hell of a lot higher than the taxes in Georgia. So how much is he really making? But they don't ever factor that in. I don't think any of these athletes ever like when Freddie signed his deal and his AAV was not that much higher than what the Braves offered, and he's going out to California and paying through the nose. They never take that into consideration. But
and then he also said that he promised his grandpa that he would play for the Cubs or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but that could have just been that could have just been a folksy tale. That could have just been a folksy tale to make everyone believe that. I mean, Dansby's from Atlanta. I can't imagine his grandfather would have given a crap if he played for the Braves his whole career, right?
Well, he's also notorious for like being a really streaky hitter as well. I know that.
Red Rum did confirm that Dansby's wife is still playing in Chicago. I thought she was.
Yeah, sure.
But we got a question here. Caleb wants to know, what do you think of Chris Sale? I mean, Chris Sale is fun, but he's been outside of Ronaldo Lopez. Actually, you know what? I would say Chris Sale's been a little more valuable than Ronaldo Lopez because he's going more innings every time. And the both of them are 1A and 1B as far as I'm concerned this year.
Yeah, they're both holding up the rotation, that's for sure.
And Max Fried, the last 4 starts have been phenomenal. This might be the best we've seen Max Fried pitch his entire career. But it is a small sample size. But those 4 starts,
right? And
I'll tell you what, the one thing that I can remember. So I've been covering the team doing this play-by-play. This is my 4th season doing it. So you pay a little more attention to stuff when you're doing it every day. I don't remember Charlie Morton getting off to a good start like this. He was always the guy that started off kind of bumpy. He'd have a good start, then he'd have a couple of bad, but then you knew by the end of the summer he'd be in postseason form. He has been phenomenal this year.
Yeah, I just want to tell you thank you for everything that you do. You do an awesome job, and I'm going to let you get back to what you do.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Calling in anytime is good hearing from you.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Yes, sir. The number to call is 678-960-9700. 678-960-9700. I almost gave the wrong number on a couple of. I'm on a couple of radio shows. I almost gave about one of those. Y'all have the phone ringing off the hook over there asking about Braves. They'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Braves win it. If you're just joining us, 7-0. Matt Olson gets the game ball. I had Max Fried on the brain there. Matt Olson gets the game ball. 2 for 3 with a walk, a home run, and 4 RBI. And you got to get a bit of a nod. I mean, if you're going to give 2 game balls in one game, this is the game to do it. Chris Sale He's got 19 strikeouts in his last 2 starts. He goes 7 strong, 9 strikeouts. I was really hoping he was going to get double digits again, but the conductor from Lakeland, Florida, has been absolutely dealing. And looking at what he's done here recently, I mean, this has just been – now, look, I know some of his matchups have not been the toughest, but I don't care. They're major league hitters. You look at what Chris Sale has done the last – we'll just say the last 3 outings, so the month of May. He's gone 18 innings, 1 earned run, 28 strikeouts in those 18 innings. And here's the big one. 1 walk? Normally when a guy's got 18 strikeouts, he's got a handful of walks. 1 walk? Are you kidding me? He has been unbelievable. And I thought he was solid coming out of the gates. He went in the month of April, he went 26 1/3. And what did he have? 26 strikeouts and 5 walks. And that was pretty darn good. Allowing 17 hits over that. But in the month of April, 18 innings, just 14 hits. That's another thing. Opponents are batting .206 on him in the month of April. He is absolutely dealing. Here's the thing. We got to get the conductor to October healthy. We've got to get Max Fried to October healthy. Max Fried, you remember the last couple of years, Max Fried, something's happened at the end where he's not ready to roll. We got to get Charlie Morton healthy to the end. And then Ronaldo Lopez is a concern too because he has not thrown this many innings in 5 years. So how's he? Yeah, he's doing fine now in May, but what's he going to be like in June, July, August? Those dog days of summer when it's hotter than hell out in Atlanta and he's wearing down. You know, not only has he not been a starting pitcher, he hasn't been pitching in Atlanta, Georgia in the middle of summer. And he gets thick as pea soup out there. But a great night for the Braves. We win the series tomorrow night. We're going to try to get the sweep. And this is a good I think this is a good Chicago Cubs team. If y'all haven't been paying attention to the Cubs all year long, this is a very good Chicago Cubs team. Now we're catching them kind of at a good spot right here with no Dansby and a couple other guys that are banged up, but not taking anything away with what we've done so far. But this is a good team for the Braves, a good litmus test when they come home like this after that weird 2-game homestand, 3-game road trip, and now they're back home. We're at home for Chicago tomorrow night, and then we will be at home all weekend. It's a wraparound series if you haven't paid attention to that. I do want to mention this. So we play Monday at 12:20 first pitch. I am going to put the chat up very early in the morning. And the reason why I'm putting it up is because I am going to be booking from work, and I don't want to wait to have everything firing up. I don't know when I'm going to get here. My goal is to get here about halfway through the game, but I'm going to be hauling butt from work to the studio to get ready to give you the end of the Padres game on Monday. So we'll have the Friday and Saturday night game. That's no problem. But that's the one game on the schedule left that I looked at. There's no physical way for me to be in 2 places at the same time. That's a weird. I don't remember the last time we played a Monday game that wasn't a holiday, a Monday game at a 12:20 first pitch. That is normally reserved for a Wednesday or Thursday. So anyways, we got a 4-game series coming up with them. Tomorrow it's Charlie Morton night. The Cubs have not announced a starter yet. It may be a bullpen game for the Cubs. We'll have to see what they decide to do. But Charlie Morton on tomorrow night, we'll have it first pitch, 7:20 first pitch, and we'll come on the air. Pregame show about 6:45. Well, we will start turning the chat on exactly 1 hour before first pitch, just so that everybody knows when first pitch is. It's just going to be easier, and anyone that wants to chat pregame. We're getting ready for the game anyways. We can we can get everything running. Y'all have a great night, Braves country. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win 7-0. Not only did we get a win and score some runs, we got a shutout. And this is I will say this, we are seeing the B squad of the Cubs lineup tonight. But still, a shutout's a shutout in Major League Baseball. We will see you tomorrow night. Y'all have a great one, Braves country. Please hit that like and subscribe button on the way out and become a Country Club member today. Join the Country Club today. The first month is free. You'll have access to badges, one-of-a-kind emojis to display your Braves pride throughout the ball game. You'll also get instant access to our video drops, members-only chat, wallpapers, and more is on the way. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley It rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.